Assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone is doing well. In this tutorial, we'll be exploring Python's input function. So these are one of Python's built-in functions. All it does is it takes a user's input from the command line, basically prompting you to input any value, just as you type in on the Google search bar or on ChatGPT for your questions. The same can be done in Python, where you can make any prompt, like enter your name, your favorite color, enter your password, etc. This line of code here, user entry equals the function input within its brackets, enter your name. When we run this code, usually you'd expect some output in the console below, right? But this time, Python waits for you to input some value. Our script should have ended with the last line of code, as done in previous tutorials. So this last line, print welcome user entry, will only be executed by the end after we type something in this prompt and hit enter. Let's put in my name Faris, then click enter. The program ends with the last code line printing welcome Faris. So what happened? When we ran the program at the start, if the input function exists in any line of your script, that's the line where Python pauses for you to enter some value in the console. Once I typed in my name and hit enter, we basically stored my name as a string within this variable user entry. So for the rest of the code onwards, the variable user entry keeps my value stored from the prompt. Hence, the last line of code, welcome user entry, now reflects as welcome Faris here. Alright, by the way, you could also type in nothing when prompted and just click enter. The program works just fine, but the variable user entry now stores a blank string value instead. In fact, within the input function, you can add in any prompt text as a string, like enter your email, run the program, and it now shows enter your email here, waiting for you to type something. It's a bit funny, but you could also add other data types as prompts, like numbers, booleans, even a dictionary if I did, and it shows up in the console below here. But of course, to make sense to the user on what they should enter, we put in prompts like, enter your name, age, passcode, etc. So input is quite useful. From experience where I made scripts that had formulas to calculate things, I wanted to try different numbers in these formulae, hence I'd use input. Here's an example, a equals input within the string a equals, and the next variable b equals input with our prompt b equals space. Notice the space that I'm adding is just to look a bit cleaner when you start typing in your prompt next to the display string. And the result variable keeps the calculation between a and b as a squared plus b squared. But notice why I wrapped the integer function around both these variables a and b. Recall that anything you store to the input function when prompted by Python, it will be stored as a string. Even if you input numbers like I do for a equals 4, b equals 5, hit enter, the code ends smoothly, but with our calculated result as 41. So indeed the result variable successfully stored this calculation, a squared plus b squared, but if I had not converted our stored a and b as integers, they would have been left as string values. Running the program with different numbers for a and b will now show an error at the end. The type error basically says the math power 2 or double star operator does not work with strings, since we did not convert our string inputs to numbers. So keeping in mind that if you want your inputs to be used in math calculations, these inputs are always stored as strings and should then be converted to numbers appropriately as integers or floats. Alright then, this was a little tutorial about the input function. Hopefully you found this useful in your Python journey. Thanks for watching guys, and happy coding!